Well, good evening there. It's amazing how quickly a week has flown by because I could almost swear I was here yesterday, but it's actually been a week. Anyways, I guess that's to say it's really good to be back, and thank you so much for tuning in. This is Strong and Sassy here on your superstation Joy 99.7 FM. And my name for now is Animwaa Anim-Addo. It may change in the near future, who knows? Any- All right, so we're live on YouTube, on Facebook, and X. So you can just watch us there. I guarantee it's much more pleasant to watch us than to listen to us. Listening to us is fun too, but watching us is pretty cool. Our phone lines are opened. Sorry, our text lines are open 055 and actually our phone lines are open because today, as part of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, which is June, we've been having conversations about the men in our lives and their mental health and how we can contribute to them, feeling secure and happy and satisfied and just enjoying life and being open about the things that they're going through. So as part of those conversations, we're talking about fears, and we're discussing men's fears in relationships. Now, apart from Facebook and everywhere else, where the men are like, how do women discuss fears, men's fears? And we are saying that this show is very interactive. So we're not going to sit here and pretend like we know what your fears are. This show is actually an avenue and a chance for you to express what your fears are, so that we as the women in your lives can listen to what your fears are and adjust or, sort of meet you at a point where we can create a safe space for you to express those fears and also work through those fears. So no, today's show is not us telling you what your fears are. So we asked the question on Facebook, on Twitter, and I'll be reading you some of the responses. We spoke to some guys as well about their fears, kind of kickstart the conversation. And of course, our phone lines, I'll just open them from now. So feel free to call in. The question is what it is, what are your fears as a man, especially concerning your relationship. So phone lines are open 0302-216-541, 0302-216-541. Marilyn is joining me in the studio. She hasn't been here for a while. Hi, Marilyn.
Hi, Animwaa.
It's good to have you and your pen and your notebook.
Of course.
Of course, dear, of course. Of course. And so Marilyn and I will be doing, not the analysis, because we're not going to, judge what your fears are, but, just discuss from a woman's point of view how we can support you. But let's take a listen to some of the fears that you expressed to us.
I think one of the fears of men in a relationship is living a lie in the relationship. Being with somebody who doesn't like you, but then you never know. And this person, you put all your trust and everything in the person. And for a long time, the person is just basically playing you along. It's one of the greatest fears. Women can play their cards so well that they can even go years with you without you realizing that you are just there. They don't even need you for anything. They don't like you the way you think they like you. They are just basically being considerate, And it's one of the greatest fears. So you feel you are doing everything as a man, but then again, she's just basically messing you up left, right, center, It's the same living a lot like raising a child that's not yours for years, where the woman doesn't even tell you. Children, the child could even be as old as 30 years before you even get to find out that this is what has actually gone down. So yeah, one of it's just that thing, living a lie. It's something that me and fear a lot in relationships.
I think for me, first off, men will generally fear being unappreciated or getting to a point where they did not get some level of appreciation because, it's seen as that's what they are meant to do. And so if you don't do it, you're bashed for it. But even when you do it, it's seen as that's who you are and that's what you're supposed to be. And so it's something that they do fear. And also, I think the bit about maybe when they lose that bit of committing in terms of finances, resources, because if he doesn't have a job, what's going to be of him and his future with respect to whoever he's with, is he going to get a woman who is going to support him and, try and help him get back on his feet, or is going to be, barging off insults, raining off insults on this person and making them feel like, they are nobody, So I think it's basically about the finances and not being appreciated. Yeah.
This is very interesting. What men are afraid of in a relationship, they're afraid to commit. So many issues, but then it will boil down to the same thing, commitment. Whether they're afraid that the woman will cheat, whether they're afraid that they can't take care of the woman for long because they're broke, whether they have trust issues, or is commitment. Because men are moved by their eyes. When you see this girl is nice, this girl is cool, this girl, but then you're going to see another girl who is nicer, who's cooler, who's richer, who's more classy. So, I mean, okay, what if this doesn't work? What men have those things going on in their head. Even if they want to settle down, there's still men would like to explore. So it's all about commitment. Who are they sticking to? Who are they sticking with? This person is the person worthy. Even if they find a person that is worthy, I won't look anywhere. I am their one and only. They still have some things running through their head when they see the lady act some way. Charlie, it's about commitment. So, will they stick? Yes, they'll stick. But what they're afraid of is to commit. Because once they commit, that's it. They can't go back. So they have their one leg in and one leg out because they're afraid to commit. What men are afraid of in a relationship? Commitment.
Wow, that was an interesting one.
Very.
The last one, what men are afraid of is commitment. So you tell me, we're not gonna sit here and presume to know or speak for you. So 0302 I think the four top things from the Vox Pops are commitment, appreciation,
Fear of being financially capable.
fear of being financially
Capable.
and
Yes.
then
And
I
then
think
for the other person living a lie,
yes.
Yes.
So not knowing whether
the
the
person is really
feelings
for
are
you or mutual, exactly.
Yeah,
whether-
yeah. So I mean, if you're listening to us, why don't you call us? Tell us what your fears are. It's 0302 We would love to hear from you. But Marilyn, we also have some comments on Facebook, so I'm going to go through them.
Okay.
So Wesley says not getting the respect from your woman in the relationship. I think we've been told enough times that a man's number one need is respect.
Yes.
So yeah, I get that. Being in a relationship or marriage with a witch.
Oh my goodness.
That's what Kombong says. Mawena says it would have been ideal to invite a man to the studio to share his opinion. Mawena, why don't you call us? 0302 As you can tell, this show is very interactive. So we'd love to hear what you have to say. And no, this is not a platform that's created to insult men. We're actually trying to understand you. So I'm not going to go through all the comments. Let me just pick the ones that okay. Nana Kels said, what will be the future of my children? So these are his fears. Will my partner be of help if I'm unable to work to feed home? Will she regard me as the man in the house? These are the questions I always ask myself. It sounds to me like respect. So C is, will she regard me as the man in the house? Respect. And then will my partner be of help if I'm unable to work to feed home? Support and also respect. Because you hear a lot of men talk about how they're treated when they're not able to provide, especially in the society
times.
that we live in here. What do you think about that one?
Well, to some extent, yes. I think that let me put it this way, the beauty of a man is seen in his leadership, and in leadership there's provision. So when he cannot provide, it's like part of the main reason for his existence has been taken away. So it's more like he has exchanged his headship when the woman now has the upper hand. But ideally, it shouldn't be like that. Because if you look at the role of a woman in a man's life, it's solely to play a supporting role. And if we want to even go into the Bible to look at the Proverbs 31 woman, that woman is a very wealthy woman. So ideally, men should not feel insecure when they have wealthy women. How does she support?
Oh, yeah, that's another show.
How does she
that's
support
another show,
if she came empty-handed? Because money answereth all things.
Yeah.
If you want to take your children to a good school, money. If you want a good place to live, money. If you want to acquire properties, money. So she came to help you. Yours is to have the vision, have some resources, and then she tops up that resources. So that insecurity should not be there if only men understand that you do not take a helper who is below you. You will take a helper who is of equal strength or even stronger than you.
Or if women understand that they are actually meant to be in a relationship to help, as opposed to take.
Well, so far, none of them have complained about that.
No,
I think that makes them feel good.
No. But I think that it's important to balance
yes.
that, as much as we're telling the men that, pick a woman who can support you, or pick a woman who is above you, who knows better than you, or because I always say that how can you help somebody if you don't know a little better, or you don't have a little it's not a superiority thing, it's a thing, it's really a functional thing.
Exactly.
But then also in our society you find that a lot of women are in their minds it's take. I want to get married for what I can get. I'm with this person because of what I can get. And you find that it's like, especially the younger women are not, very helpmate-ish. They're not thinking about what do I bring, what do I give, how do I help. And perhaps maybe because women don't also realize the power that they have to give life to situations and to a man and his dreams. So it's like, you know what I mean, right?
Anyway, yes, I agree perfectly, except that I think that over time, the men have not really appreciated that part of women. So gradually, the women feel that, look, if I have the money, he won't appreciate me. He would rather fear me and not marry me. So you find guys going out with ladies who have money, but they would not marry them. They would choose somebody who is quite lowly so they can control. It's in recent times that you have men who have renewed mindsets and now are looking for women to bring something to the table. So the women are somehow psyched to think that if you have too much money, a man won't marry you.
Yeah, that's another conversation because, Anyway, Kay is on the phone. Hi, Kay. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good too. So, Kay, tell me, what are your biggest fears in a relationship?
My biggest fears in a relationship, or a man's biggest fear, is for women to know what he fears. And you're asking on national radio.
Oh, that's a good one. Kay said that a man's biggest fear in a relationship is for the woman to know what he fears. And now we're asking. Okay, so Kay, you and I are not in a relationship. So you tell me what you're afraid of.
No, because I believe there are the generic ones like the respect and all that. And respect is really a very big word. Just the same way submission is a very big word. It includes a lot of things. Respect means, and respect is different for everybody, but basically maybe it will come to meaning that you accord your man the kind of respect you would anybody you revere. And that, means so many things. So whether it comes to raising children, how you conduct yourself, how you talk to him. You just need to do it in a manner that you would do, like some people say, if you wouldn't say it to your boss, if you wouldn't say it to the person who pays you, if you wouldn't say it to your father or anyone you love, or if you wouldn't like it being said to you, don't say it to the head of your family. If you wouldn't say it to your pastor, don't say it to your husband. So respect is a very big thing, But what I'll say is that sometimes, irrespective of all this, I believe personally that if a woman is able to identify that superpower that women have and use it well, then there's no man or there's no relationship she cannot, how should I say, nurture. And that is a feminine touch. Feminine touch is the most powerful thing on earth. You understand me? Irrespective of how hot-headed your husband is, your boyfriend is, if you know how to just apply a feminine touch to anything, it doesn't matter. If he's stingy, he will release. If he's hard-headed, he will become soft. Just know how to use your feminine touch to, nurture him, and you would be fine. And in a way, that is respect. You knowing that, let me just stroke him a little bit. When do I talk? When do I, allow him to rant? When am I firm? How am I even firm? How do I do it? What tone do I use? Your husband can be angry at you, and all you do is you just keep quiet, make him his favorite meal, and sometimes you can even make him feel guilty. So, yeah, just respect. But then we don't want you to know what we fear, please.
All right, Kay. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you so much. Very interesting. Okay, Nana is next. Our phone lines are open, 0302216541. The question is, what are you afraid of in your relationship as a guy? Hello, Nana.
Hi.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay. I'm good too, thank you. So what are your fears?
My life, number one, knowing that I'm not promised tomorrow, and as to whether I'm going to go back home again or wake up the next morning scares me. And second is my time. I don't control it, and it can pass me by. A lot of things can go wrong in the seconds. That also scares me. Third is my money, or I'll say business. Not knowing what or the result the next move will produce, which can end up making me broke to the extent that I might not be able to afford the kind of lifestyle I want for myself. And also, if in a relationship, ending up with an irresponsible, financially indisciplined woman, that thing scares me a lot. And
why, Nana? Tell me why being with a financially
irresponsible woman. That's what.
Did you say financially irresponsible?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, financially
irresponsible
and also indisciplined woman. When it comes to money.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
You see, I don't believe in the idea that men are the ones who are supposed to have money and give. Besides, there's no written any gender when it comes to money. Anybody who makes the move can get it. So if a woman is not doing anything for themselves, question is, you want a certain lifestyle for yourself. What are you doing towards it? If your plan is to get me, who is working hard for the lifestyle that I want for myself, I'm your retirement planner, then I'm sorry, shift, let me pass. You have to be doing something, at least. There's a reason why our dads, when they passed by, our mom suffered, because they weren't doing much. It's not as if they couldn't, but we said that money is supposed to be for a man to make and give, which doesn't make sense. We all have to have, and we bring it together to make it work, blow it. So that's just it with that aspect. And the next one, I'll say my sex. Knowing that I'll wake up one day and won't be able to make love. Oh, God.
You mean so like your own yourself, as in your ability to rise to the occasion?
Yes. And right now that we are growing health issues here and there and those kind of things, not knowing you can do everything right. Right now you can do everything right, and yes, still sickness will find you. So some of these things that scared me a little. So I think this a few of them. Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know
Thank
if
you
you
so
want to add
much.
something.
Thank you so much for sharing that's with us.
Yeah.
I always find it so interesting to be able to go into the mind of a man, because I think as women a lot of times we talk amongst ourselves about what we think men are thinking. So when we actually get to a space where men are actually talking about what they think, it's very interesting. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. So okay, Steve from Somania says, my greatest fear as a man in a relationship is a lady having to one of the days find another man who they think may be better than me. Yeah, that's a tough one. Okay, there was another one. This one says, how come your own wife will call you to tell you that she has a boyfriend just in your second month of losing your job, as you were fulfilling your responsibilities until you lost the job, without any misunderstanding ensuing between you? How possible can that be? And he says, I'm highly afraid for my life and that of my child. NB, she is working. Well, really sorry about that.
Something.
That's that's a difficult one. But thank you so much for sharing it with us. 0302216541. Phone lines are opened. And our text lines are open as well. 0551111997. We're asking the men, what are your biggest fears in relationships? Let me take it a step further and also ask, so if you're texting, if you're going to call, also ask that what can the women in your life do to, maybe not, obviously we can't take the fears away, but how do we find a way to make it easier for you? There was a message there. Can I just read that? Okay, we have another caller, so let me go on the phones. George. Hi, George.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, all right. So what are your biggest fears in the relationship?
I think it's just commitment. So I was listening to the interview before the program, and there was this guy that was talking about commitment. And I think the basis of all the relationships is just commitment. Because I'm talking from a personal experience where we've been together, then I lost my job, then all of a sudden she comes to me like, my mother said, leave me or forget having a mother. Just like that. And then I try all efforts I could to just learn things. I come back from town. She's gone. Then here I am. Because I've lived my life, built my life all around there. No friends. I barely have friends. So now that she's gone, just look at the vacuum that's been created. So assuming I want to enter another relationship, do you think I'm willing to commit? I won't be willing to commit because the past experience have taught me to be on the guard. And then it is going to make the next woman that out to suffer. Because maybe she may be committed, and because of what I've been through, I will not be committed. And at the end of the day, what will come out of it? It's either I'll be with you and see someone else as more like a backup. So to me, the whole basis of this, I think, is just the commitment. Most men are just afraid to commit. That's my little contribution.
Wow, thank you so much for that, George. And I love that you actually expanded on why you would have that fear. We'll talk about that in a bit. But let's talk to Eli. So Eli or Ellie? English or Hello, Ellie.
Yes, Ellie.
Hi, Ellie. Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So tell me what your biggest fear in relationships, your relationship is.
So I don't see it so as a fear. This is how I see it. So, we have classes, we have circumstances, we have stages, and so on in life. So, if, for instance, a man meets a woman or you are in a relationship, the man will be ready and then to embrace you, or as you call it, the relationship or leading to marriage or whatever you call it in the relationship. If you are able to touch the points that the man is looking for, vice versa, it applies to women too. So I don't see it as fear at all. So if someone falls below your expectation or above your expectation, you should move on and then try to pair with someone who falls within what makes you more, someone who makes you feel more comfortable. So on the part of men, if I can say so from experience, I should say a man will want to do anything, whether financially, socially, whatever standard you set for the man. All the man will be looking for is that thing from the woman that, brings out the man in him. So it has nothing to do with, say, money. Yes, it has a way to play, temperament and other things. They also play a role. But men will be looking for something in that woman that brings that man in him, that will sort of get him into a mood or a state that he will be ready for anything for you. So he will be able to stick his neck. I don't know whether I've made sense.
Yes. I totally get you.
So it's not as in fear. I don't see it so. So if why go into a relationship with someone you don't feel very comfortable with? Status-wise, financially, why would you want to go into it? We have people, male, earning less compared to their female counterpart that they are in a relationship with. But it all depends on how they bond, how they reason together, the plans they have. And it doesn't take anything from the man. It doesn't scare the man or what have you, yes. But if compatibility, there's a problem in that region, that it will definitely lead to a problem in the future. So this is how I see it. This is my first time on air, so forgive, I've not been able to organize
you
my
did
thoughts
great.
well.
You did
But
really
let me
great.
try
Thank
and
you
then
so much.
Summarize it. So I don't see it as fear, as we put it. It's more of trying to be careful to settle with the right person. Whether the person socially stands taller, financially earns more, or what have you. What a man will be looking for in a woman will be what makes him feel comfortable, and that will challenge him to want to bring out the best
in him.
himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Ellie. Thank you so much. And you did really good for your first time. So thank you so much. Vincent in Accra says, I've made a personal decision to avoid broke ladies. My fear is to date a broke girl who is all submissive and lovely just because I am helping her financially. Mm-hmm. How will she behave towards me when she becomes financially empowered? Mm-hmm. So to avoid all these doubts, I go straight away for a lady who is already financially independent and at the same time respectful and submissive to me. With that, I am assured that it is her true character. From Vincent in Accra. Mm. Vincent, I won't burst your bubble. So I won't tell you that as for submission, yeah, we have learned how to pretend. I won't tell you that. So good luck. Good luck with that. But I mean, on a lighter note, yeah. Marilyn, it's a bit, and this conversation is for the men. So I think it's a bit, it worries me when I hear sometimes men focus on submission, especially before marriage, because I wonder if they know that we can fake submission to get what we want. Do you think they know?
Well, I'm not sure they are able to detect.
So if you had to teach a man how to detect fake submission, let us today the show is for you guys. So today the show is for the men. We are giving you a fake submission. Give us 3 signs.
And
I will say it is only prayer that can discern.
Honestly, it's only prayer, because when someone is set to pretend, the person will cover, and women are gifted when it comes to covering our tracks. We are gifted with it. So we can cover the tracks so beautifully that you will just never notice anything until we get the captain's band. Then I will show you that, okay, this is how it is done. Let's show you the real game.
I think that's one of men's biggest fears. They can giving away the captain's band because true colors.
Yeah. But sometimes too, I think that the length of time reveals a lot of things. I think these days we are having too many people meeting within 1 month. In 3 months, they are already all over each other. Sometimes they would have even had sex already. So all those things bind them so closely And then by the time you realize in 6 months, 1 year, quick, let's get married. I am not saying that all relationships that have happened within 6 months to 1 year are fake and all of them are breaking. No, there are a few good ones.
No, but time is
good.
Time,
good.
Yeah.
You
time
see?
does something that a lot
exactly.
of
So when you give something time, reasonable time, the person gets tired. At some point in time, a few pointers will tell you that no, this thing does not look as good as it's being presented. But that is as to whether the men are also watching keenly, or they have not been overtaken by emotions, especially where there is sex. You know, so maybe the girl winds him in a way that he loses his mind. I mean, he's in heaven. So when she starts doing all of those things, he's in love. He just cannot do anything about it.
Wow.
Yeah, until he's shown shaggy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I can imagine that if you're listening to us as a guy, that must be a pretty big fear, because I mean, even the Bible says that a nagging wife is like a dripping tap. Just and it's funny because you actually, if we're going to use the Bible, you don't really hear the Bible complain too much about women. In those little things that, you know, women are able to do. There's another one. It is better to live on the top of a roof than to live in a, you know. So I can understand that for men, you know, putting yourself into this relationship, into like this almost like a box. It must be pretty scary. So we're grateful that you are. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
You see, I think that one thing that men also ignore when they are in love is that they ignore the advice of well-meaning people around them. So your sister sees something and says, look, watch this. Even sometimes other female friends. But then
who could probably be jealous and
exactly, they are quick to think that,
like me, if it's me and my relationship, I can't put your mouth inside, you will be in trouble.
But you see,
so you better not put your mouth inside. That's just general advice I'm giving.
The cost is high.
Well, I'm just saying that if I think people should mind their own business.
That's
first of
true.
all.
Yes.
Secondly, I think that if you're with a woman, you should. For me, this is my thing. After all of my experience, everything that I've been through, like, just pray and for me, this is my opinion, let the Holy Spirit show you what you have to see, what you should know, and what He wants you to know and to see. Because people see through the lens of their experiences and their, you know, whatever's. So I'm a bit wary when... And I'll always get defensive if I'm in a relationship or a space and there's well-meaning people coming to give opinions. I will just don't tell me who the person is, because there'll be a problem.
No, but you see, this is where sometimes we make a mistake. God speaks through people.
So does the devil. And most of the time, people hear the devil louder than they hear God.
My goodness.
So if God is going to speak, He should speak through me or you, or speak to you and not speak to anybody.
Oh my God.
Anyways, let's go on to the comments. Marilyn, don't mind me. My biggest fear in a relationship is submission. And for better, for worse, because there are stages in life. So Evans, you're afraid of whether the woman will submit. Okay. And I think, Marilyn, this is also a running theme.
Yeah.
The stages in life. So good times, bad times. Women too, sometimes we can really show like bad times, right? Like completely. Yeah. Would you would stick with your partner if he went through a rough patch?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you're a guy, how would you if you're going to marry a woman, how would you identify in her if she's the kind of person who can stick with you through bad times?
Well, you see, I'm not a big fan of tests in relationships.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes it works. For me, I just feel that even if you decided to run a test on me, don't tell me I passed your test. I don't want to know.
Okay.
Keep the
that
results.
Would annoy you.
Yeah, because I think that is quite disrespectful.
To say it.
But otherwise, feel free to run a few tests. There are many scenarios you could create to see the kind of person
that you're dealing with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when those pointers start, you should know that no, this is a no-go area.
I like that. I like that. Our phone lines are still open, 0302216541. Plenty messages. Nana Kwesi says, time is the best judge to everything. And my biggest fear is another human knowing my fear. Oh, you
Because
guys.
then you become vulnerable.
Yes. So I guess vulnerability is a fear from men.
Yeah.
You know, opening up and being vulnerable. I think also mainly because women maybe have had a tendency sometimes to use those moments of vulnerability in an argument, or
That's
to
true.
win
That's true.
arguments, or to so okay. We are learning. Brian Rodriguez on Facebook says, my fear in a relationship is when I meet a dependent lady, she'll dump me if I go broke. Okay, yeah. Hello, Animwaa. Thank you for the thought-provoking topic today. I was just wondering if there's any help for those in difficult times. I heard the plight of a poor guy who lost his job, and the wife already has a boyfriend within 2 months. Yeah, I hope you consider that for future programs. It may have been very comforting for him to hear that there's help available, or just someone to talk to just feel a bit better. That's true. That's true. That's Mayfair from Dancerman. I'll text you my number. And then you can call me and let's have a chat. All right. So Eve, why is Eve on the? Hello.
Hello, Anim.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Okay. So hi, what's your name, please?
I'm Steven.
Steven.
Yeah.
They said your name is Evil. So I was come to ask that, hey, this is Shishemu. What's in Shishemu woman this evening is calling this men's show today? But hello, Steve. Hello. Oh, hello, Steve. Steve, how are you?
I'm good, yourself.
Okay, so Steve, what is your biggest fear in your relationship?
I think my biggest fear is making the lady know I really love her. Where she uses that against me, and she'll be like, oh, begins to play me because she realizes I really like her, I'm committed to her stuff, and then as if I can't live without her, and then she tries to use it against me. I think that is my greatest fear.
Oh, Steve, you know, I've heard that so many times. And it seems like a big fear of men, you know, opening up and letting a woman know how much you love her, and the fear that she will use it against you. It really makes me sad, you know, to hear that. But I know that there's there's a reason that men feel that way. Because yes, sometimes women. I don't even know what to say again. Noah Sanmote Odikro says, unrealistic expectations, yet coming in with little efforts, lack of respect and honor. Everything is dependent on one's financial standing.
No genuine feelings.
Yeah, no genuine feelings. And the money is a big thing. Okay, let's messages. The message. Okay, there's okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Kay, hi. Okay. Kay, so what's your biggest fear in your relationship?
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening.
Hi, Kay, good evening.
Yes. The problem that we are having in our marriages today is the fear of women being controlled by men. So they want to be
Kay, can you lower your radio, because we're getting feedback here. So like talk to me through the phone, but not listening on the radio, please.
Yeah, I'll put it off.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the fear of women in every relationship, especially in marriage, is the fear of men being controlled. So they would want to have financial independence, which is the motive behind every woman working so hard in marriages today. So everything is fine in a marriage if the man has enough money, taking care of everything. The house chores, the cost of bills, everything, taking care of children, everything. Immediately, the women also have money to contribute. That's where the problem starts, mostly in relationships. That is causing the breakup of almost every marriage in Ghana today.
Wow. that's a big one. Again, okay. Ellie says, my fear as a man is my lady using my vulnerability against me when I disclose my weakness to her, and having a culture shock after marriage. So my lady totally changing after marriage. Marilyn, when you got married, after you got married, did you change?
That may be difficult to answer. Mr. Suta should
ask
have,
your husband.
Yes, should have answered that.
Please, let's call him.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, sir. You said we should ask him. Now we should ask him. Is he not calling that? Anita, please come and collect his number and let us call him
please.
and ask him. We want to know, because it's a genuine fear that has been raised.
No, but you see, Animwaa, there is always a degree of change with everyone. You understand? There are certain things you would do while dating that you may not do when you're married.
Like what?
Oh, I mean, it's difficult to say now, but
I said we should call. Let us call. Anita, come for the number.
You know, increased responsibilities, so many things change your relationship in marriage. I think that the most important thing is for both parties to understand that as we move, things will never remain the same. So how do we adapt to each other?
Okay.
But sometimes I think that the problem of men, or this show is for them, but maybe they need to understand certain things. Men always want to cling to the past, what they knew you to be.
Yes, they say a man marries a woman hoping she will never change.
But it's never possible.
And women marry men hoping they will change. But are you going to say that's not possible too?
Everyone changes.
Not everyone, sometimes not for the better. So I think we both come in with unrealistic expectations.
Exactly. And that's why I'm saying that don't hold on to the past. You adjust as you grow, because things change. I can say yes, I have changed a little. Yeah, because that time when we first got married, I had some time. So I could wake up early in the morning, cook my husband's lunch, and even sometimes add a smoothie for breakfast and all that. Animwaa, now, when I do that for about 2 days, I'll be dizzy. If you don't hold me, I'll fall down.
Serious?
Yes, because now the responsibilities have increased at work. So when you get home, all you just want to do is to find a safe corner and sleep.
Icon is joining us on the phone. Hi, Icon. Good evening.
Good evening, Animwaa.
Yes. Icon.
Yeah, how are you doing, Animwaa?
I'm very, very fine. What's up?
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
I like the way you are handling the show.
Thank you very much.
And I saw that you are not trying to be judgmental, but like I could see sometimes you want to make some comments. So if you could a little bit play the devil advocate, it will be a little bit.
You Icon, you said I'm handling the show well. Now you are saying that I'm not playing devil's advocate. So you yourself you are behaving like me. Icon has run away. Icon, I'm waiting for you in the car park. I'm waiting for you in the car park. I'll wait for you after the show. But thank you. Yes, no, I really am. I'm not going to judge anybody today. Maybe next week. On some women faking submission. Oh, wow. Quite similarly, they are very skilled in deception. My fear, if admissible, is they finding out I'm also skilled in easily seeing through the deception. Two can play that game. Wow. Okay. Thank you for that. I don't know how to pronounce your name, though. Xiao. Xiao. Shaoling. It's all right. It's like, are you Chinese though? Like, all right, cool. You should call us and tell us how to pronounce your name. That would be so cool. And Maxwell says, my biggest fear in a relationship is uncertainty. This one, my biggest fear in a relationship is when my woman knows my vulnerabilities. Why? We love you when you're vulnerable and soft and mushy. It's so nice. It's increases the oxytocin and Anyways, it's about time a conversation is had about men sponsoring ladies with the idea of marrying them, and the ladies disappointing the men eventually. This is all over social media. All right, okay. Mike from Akosombo, we'll talk about that another time. All right, Vincent is on the phone. Okay, I think Vincent is going to be our last caller because it's 7:54. So Vincent,
Animwaa.
yes, Vincent, Charlie, what's up?
Yeah, I sent you a message earlier about me avoiding broke ladies.
Yeah.
And you said women can pretend when they are being submissive, but for me, respect from a woman is submission.
Okay.
If she respects me, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll go in for a woman who is financially independent, and if she respects me, I know that is a true character because money brings out the character of people. A broke lady can be very nice to you because she's down, but once she gets money, her true character will come out, and who knows what her true character will be. So to avoid all these problems, go in straight for a woman who is financially empowered. Whatever, when she is nice towards you, she respects you. That's her true character because she already has the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vincent,
very much.
let me ask you. Wait. You brought yourself. Let me stop laughing. I'm serious. Let me ask you a question. You know, men talk about respect a lot, right?
Yeah.
What does respect look like practically? Do you know, like, what does it actually look like? What are the things that when you see a woman do, you say that, oh, this woman respects me?
A woman who values your thoughts, your understanding of issues. There are women who just brush you aside when you are giving your thoughts. They don't value what you are bringing to the table when it comes to an issue, and they do it in subtle ways. If you are not careful, you will not see it. But if you are very discerning, you see that the lady is really listening to you and valuing what you are bringing on board. That for me is respect.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing that.
You're
with
welcome.
us, Vincent. Very grateful. You know, Marilyn, so many times men talk about respect, and sometimes you're like, okay, does it mean I say yes, please? Do I add uncle to your name? You know, do I
Or sir.
or say, do I not argue? Or when I'm arguing, does my tone have to be this? So getting some clarity, I think, from the men on how they translate respect is very important. So before we go, so this would be my last question to you, maybe last but one. But respect and commitment were the two big
main
things.
issues.
Yeah. So, I mean, from a woman's perspective, what do you think that we can do to perhaps contribute to, men feeling safer,
Respected.
feeling respected and not feeling the fear. I think it's not feeling the fear that comes with committing to somebody. And I think with a commitment, it's broken down into being vulnerable and then having support when things are not great, and then also just knowing that this is the one person that I'm sticking with. So how do you think that we can position ourselves in such a way that we're actually helpful?
Okay, so I think first of all, women must renew their minds, understand their roles as support systems and holistic support systems for that matter. So you are there to support him in every aspect of his life, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially,
pimples, all of that.
everything. Yes,
Making
you should
smoothies.
exactly, and cooking lunch. You should know anymore. Don't worry me. And then also you should endeavor to know your man. Yes, when you know what makes him tick, what makes him angry, it's always easier to manage him. If you always go like, oh, you understand? Oh, that means that you are not ready to make an attempt to address those issues, what you do to make him angry or what you do to make him feel disrespected. So know him and what appeals to him, and then just stay on that side. In any case at all, nobody marries his enemy, as we say in Tribia and we're in a town for. So if you are in a man's life, why would you choose to be a trouble spot for him? Endeavor as much as possible to be his peace. It's one thing men cherish a lot. A lot goes on in their lives. Sometimes I pity my husband. And getting married, I think I understand my father. and how he's managed all this while. Because we just ask, when you are coming, you'll buy this. As to whether there was money in his pocket or not.
You didn't know.
But somehow we just expected that
he would always,
That's it.
Yeah.
And we did that to our fathers. We are doing that to our husbands now too. You see, but they also just try to keep up. And they'll never want to tell you, I don't have money, I'm not going to do it. So in all of that confusion, trying to sort things out, trying to be a man, trying to keep his emotions intact so you don't see him break down, be his peace.
Oh. Give him a hug.
Give him a hug. When he comes home,
just give him some.
Yeah.
And a smoothie on top.
Exactly.
Yes.
Just be his peace. And also build capacity.
Yeah. Yeah. Very important.
Build capacity, spiritual capacity, physical capacity, and financial, mental,
intellectual.
Build capacity.
Be a woman worthy of something.
Yes.
You know, it's become a phrase, what do you bring to the table? Some women interpret it as disrespectful. But you cannot come with your 10 fingers, wide open, empty head, no sense, always crying. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that to another human being.
You see, sometimes it would not even be an issue of money. Not all of us would be blessed to be so financially empowered. But what do you bring to the table? Could be peace, could be common sense, could be intelligence,
could be a software,
wisdom for direction.
Yeah, could be styles. Exactly. So many things. This has been Strong and Sassy. My name's Animwaa Anim-Addo, and we did this for the men tonight. Next week we'll be back. Thank you to the whole team. You guys rock. Coming up next is the news at 8 o'clock.